The strange beginning, the forest was quiet, but not safe. Shadows moved between the trees. Strange eyes watched from the darkness. Hunters of the tribe never stayed long after sunset, for they knew the forest did not forgive the weak. Far from the village, a man walked alone. He was different from the others, and many in the tribe whispered his name with distrust. Some called him the mad human. Others simply avoided him. He lived on the edge of their world, far from the fires of the tribe, far from their rules. On that night, as the moonlight cut through the branches, he heard a sound, a weak cry. It was not human, not beast, but something in between. Curious, he followed the sound, his boots crunching on the fallen leaves. There, half hidden under roots and mud, he saw it, a tiny creature. Its body was small, fragile, and trembling. Its skin was pale, almost glowing, and its eyes too large for its head blinked with fear. It was injured, its breaths sharp and painful. Around it, the marks of a great predator showed clearly. Something had attacked it, but left it behind, too small to be worth eating. The man knelt. For a long moment, he only stared. He knew what it was. Every elder in the tribe had spoken of these creatures. They were not pets. They were not harmless. They were predators, born with hunger in their bones. Left alive, they would grow into nightmares. The wise thing was to kill it now. He reached for his knife, but then the creature looked at him. Its large eyes shone with terror, but also with something else, a desperate will to live. It made a small sound, weak and broken, almost like a child's cry. The man froze. All his life, he had been told to obey the tribe, to follow their laws. But he never belonged among them. He was always different, always questioning. And now, for the first time, he saw a creature that was like him and wanted, alone, left to die. Instead of cutting its throat, he put away the knife. Slowly, he reached out his hand. The creature flinched, but it did not run. It had no strength left. With gentle hands, the man lifted it, feeling its tiny body trembling against his palm. "You should not exist," he whispered. "But maybe you are meant to." He wrapped it in his cloak and carried it home. Days passed. The man gave the creature food, water, and warmth. He cleaned its wounds and spoke to it in quiet words. At first, it feared him, its eyes watching him with suspicion. But slowly, it began to trust. Its strength returned. Every morning, the man would wake to find it standing closer to him, no longer hiding in the shadows. When he fed it, it made small sounds of joy. When he touched its head, it no longer pulled away. Still, he knew what it was becoming. He saw the sharpness of its claws growing each day. He saw how quickly it learned, how its eyes followed every movement, every sound, like a hunter preparing for the chase. And yet, he could not bring himself to destroy it. The tribe soon noticed. Hunters saw him walking with the small creature, following at his feet. They saw him training it, teaching it to respond to his voice. Whispers spread. He is raising a predator. He has lost his mind. That thing will kill us all. Even the princess of the tribe heard the rumors. From the high walls of her father's hall, she listened as the council spoke in fear. They wanted the creature dead. They wanted the man punished. But curiosity grew inside her. She wanted to see it with her own eyes. The man, meanwhile, cared nothing for their words. Night after night, he sat with the creature by the fire. He watched its glowing eyes staring into the flames. He felt something changing between them, something stronger. Then fear, a bond. He knew it was dangerous. He knew the tribe was right to fear it, but deep inside, he believed this creature was meant for something greater. And so, against every law, against every warning, he made a choice that would change the fate of the tribe forever. He would raise the monster Asterisk. The creature grows the days turned into weeks, and the small creature was no longer weak. It healed, it stood, and it learned. At first, it stumbled when it tried to walk. Its thin legs shook under its body. But every time it fell, it forced itself to rise again. The man watched with silent eyes, amazed by its stubborn will. He gave it food every morning, meat from his hunts, water from the river, and shelter by the fire. Soon, the creature grew faster than any animal he had ever seen. Its body stretched, its claws sharpened. Its glowing eyes began to look less like a helpless child and more like a predator waiting to be unleashed. The man trained it. He clapped his hands, teaching it to follow commands. He threw stones into the woods, and it chased them, running with speed that shocked even him. He made whistles with his lips, and the creature came bounding back, always eager to obey. But even as it learned loyalty, he never forgot what it truly was. A beast, a predator, not a pet, not a toy. The tribe noticed. Hunters returning from the forest spoke of the man walking with the creature at his side. Some said it looked like a wolf, others like a reptile, but all agreed on one thing: it was dangerous, too dangerous. Children whispered in fear when they saw it from afar. Farmers spat on the ground and prayed it would not come near their homes. And the elders warned that no man should raise such a thing, for it was not nature's will still. The man did not stop. He remembered the night he found it, the tiny, dying body that no one wanted. He remembered how its eyes had begged for life. He saw himself in it, a creature unwanted by the tribe, a creature that did not belong, and so he continued. Against the warnings, against the whispers, one evening the princess herself stood on the high wall of the village, staring into the distance. Her guards told her the story again. The mad human walks with a monster, they said. It grows larger each day. Soon it will not obey him. Soon it will turn. But the princess, unlike her council, did not feel only fear. She felt curiosity. What kind of man would dare to raise such a thing? What kind of bond could be formed between human and predator? She could not understand. And because she could not understand, she needed to see it for herself. Back at the man's home on the forest's edge, the creature continued to change. It was no longer small. Its body had grown thick with muscle. Its claws dug deep into the dirt with every step. Its tail cut through the air like a whip. Its glowing eyes were sharp and intelligent, following every movement around it. At night, when the fire burned low, the man would sometimes wake to find the creature sitting by the doorway, its eyes scanning the darkness as if protecting him. The sight both comforted him and filled him with unease. One night, he spoke aloud, though he knew it would not answer. "You are no longer the tiny thing I found in the mud. You are something else now, something greater. And I do not know if the world is ready for you." The creature tilted its head at the sound of his voice. For a moment, in its glowing eyes, he thought he saw understanding. Then came the hunt. The man decided it was time to test what the creature had become. He led it deep into the forest, past rivers and stones, until they reached the hunting grounds where wild beasts roamed. He pointed toward the trees. "Go." The creature moved like lightning. It vanished into the dark, its claws silent against the earth. Minutes later, a terrible roar echoed through the forest. Birds scattered, branches snapped, and then he saw it dragging the body of a beast twice its size, its jaws soaked with blood. The man's chest tightened. He had known it was powerful. But this was more than he imagined. The creature dropped the body at his feet like an offering, its eyes burning with pride. The man placed his hand on its head, feeling the heat of its body, the strength under its skin. For the first time, fear touched his heart. Not fear of the creature itself, but fear of what would happen if the tribe ever saw this, of course. The tribe did see. Hunters spied from the shadows as the beast tore through the forest. They ran back to the village with wide eyes and trembling voices. "It is no longer small," they cried. "It is a monster, stronger than anything we have seen." The council gathered in anger. The elders shouted that the creature must be destroyed before it grew even larger. They warned the princess that it would bring only death. But the princess was silent. She listened, but she did not agree. Something inside her told her this was not the whole truth. Back at the forest's edge, the man sharpened his blade by the fire. The creature rested nearby, its chest rising and falling in deep sleep. For now, it was calm. For now, it was his. But he knew. The day was coming when the tribe would make their move, when they would come to kill what he had raised. And on that day, both he and the princess would face a choice that could decide the fate of them all. Fear in the tribe. The village fires burned low that night, but the people did not sleep. Whispers ran through the huts like wind through dry grass. Men and women leaned close to one another, their voices sharp with fear. "The creature is no longer small," they said. "It is a predator. It will kill us when it grows too large to control." The hunters, who had seen it with their own eyes, told their story again and again. They spoke of glowing eyes in the darkness, of claws that cut deep into the earth, of fangs red with blood. They swore it could tear apart two warriors at once. Each retelling made the fear grow stronger. Children clung to their mothers. Elders shook their heads and muttered about curses. And soon, the whole tribe began to agree on one thing. This monster could not be allowed to live. At the council fire, the elders gathered. Their faces were lit by flame, their voices heavy with anger. "He has betrayed us," one said. "He brought danger into our home," another answered. "The beast must be destroyed. The man must be punished." But one voice was softer, thoughtful. It was the princess. She sat at the edge of the fire, her eyes hidden in the shadows. Unlike the others, she did not speak in anger. She listened when the council shouted that the creature would turn on them. She asked quietly, "Has it attacked us yet?" When they shouted that it would destroy the tribe, she asked, "Do we know this for truth or only for fear?" The elders glared at her, but she did not lower her gaze. Deep inside, she felt something the others did not: curiosity. That same night, the princess left the safety of the village walls. With only a cloak over her shoulders, she followed the forest path toward the edge of the wild. Her guards tried to stop her, but she ordered them back. Alone, she walked through the trees, guided only by moonlight. Every sound made her heart race: the snap of a twig, the cry of a night bird, the howl of a distant beast. But she did not turn back. She wanted to see it. With her own eyes at the edge of the forest clearing, she found him, the outcast, the man they called mad. He sat by a fire, sharpening his blade. And beside him, curled like a shadow, lay the creature. The princess froze. It was larger than she imagined. Its body rippled with muscle. Its claws glinted in the firelight. Its glowing eyes opened and fixed on her the moment she stepped into the clearing. The sound it made was low and dangerous, a growl that rumbled like thunder beneath the earth. The man lifted his head, but he did not reach for his weapon. Instead, he said calmly, "You should not be here." The princess swallowed her fear. And yet, here I am. The creature rose to its feet, towering over her. Every instinct in her body screamed to run, but she forced herself to stand tall. She met its eyes, her breath steady, though her heart raced. For a long moment, nothing moved. Then, to her surprise, the beast lowered its head slightly, as if recognizing her courage. The man watched, silent, as if testing her. She asked him at last, "Why? Why do you keep it alive when you know the danger?" The man placed his knife. Down, his face unreadable. "Because I see myself in it," he said. "Unwanted, feared, left to die, yet strong enough to survive." The princess's eyes narrowed. "And when it grows too strong for even you to control?" Ati did not answer. He only looked into the fire, the flames dancing in his eyes. The next day, rumors spread that the princess had gone to see the creature. The tribe was shocked. Some said she was foolish. Others said she was cursed by the same madness. The council demanded to know what she had seen, but she gave them no answer. Instead, she kept her thoughts to herself, in her mind. She replayed the moment when the beast looked at her not as prey, but as something more. There was danger, yes, but there was also intelligence, a choice. She could not forget it. Meanwhile, the fear of the tribe only grew worse. Farmers refused to work near the forest's edge. Mothers forbade their children from wandering outside the walls. Warriors sharpened their spears and spoke of slaying the beast before it grew larger still. Every night, the council argued. Every night, the man sat by his fire, the creature at his side, as if nothing in the world could move him. But fear is a dangerous thing. Fear spreads faster than fire, and fear soon turns into action. One evening, a group of young warriors decided they had waited long enough. Without the council's blessing, they took their spears and bows and slipped into the forest. They whispered that they would be heroes, that they would kill the monster and bring its head to the village. But the forest swallowed them. Hours passed, then came the sound, a scream, a roar. The earth shook. Birds burst from the trees in a storm of wings. The tribe froze in terror as the sounds echoed in the night by dawn. Only one warrior returned, crawling on his hands and knees, his face pale with fear. His words were broken, but his meaning was clear. The beast had spared his life, but it had shown him its true power. The council erupted. It must be destroyed. They cried. It is no longer an animal, it is a monster. But the princess, listening quietly, felt her heart torn in two. She knew the tribe could not accept the creature. She knew their fear would never end. Yet she also knew what she had seen in its eyes. A mind, a will, a bond, and she could not shake the feeling that one day, when a greater danger came, this monster might be the only hope left. The monster within the forest was never silent again. After the young warrior's failed attempt, fear spread like wildfire across the tribe. Men sharpened their blades. Women whispered of curses. Children had nightmares of glowing eyes staring from the darkness. Yet the man still walked with the beast. He fed it, trained it, and spoke to it as if it were more than an animal. 2. The tribe. He was a traitor. To himself, he was a guardian of something greater. But even he began to see what the tribe feared. The creature no longer fit inside his small hut. Its body had stretched beyond the size of a horse. Its claws tore the earth wherever it walked. Its tail left deep scars in the ground. When it roared, the very air shook, and birds fled from the trees in panic. And though it obeyed him coming, when he called, sitting when he ordered, there were moments that unsettled him. Moments when its eyes lingered too long on his throat. Moments when its teeth snapped too close to his hand. Moments when he felt not like a master, but like prey, allowed to live by choice. Still, he continued. Still, he believed in it, but belief could not hide the truth forever. One night, the full moon lit the forest in silver light. The man decided to take the creature hunting. He wanted to test its limits, to see just how strong it had become. Together, they tracked the scent of a wild boar. The boar was large, furious, and armed with tusks that could kill a man in a single strike. When it charged, the man prepared his spear, but he never had the chance to use it. The creature moved faster than his eyes could follow. Struck with claws like blades, slamming the beast to the ground. Its jaws closed around the boar's throat, crushing bone in a single bite. Blood sprayed across the leaves. The hunt was over in seconds. The man lowered his spear, his chest tight. He had thought he was prepared. He had thought he knew what it was capable of. But this was no longer training. This was slaughter. The creature stood over the body, growling with pride. Its eyes glowed brighter than the moon. It turned to him, blood dripping from its jaws. For a moment, he saw not loyalty, not friendship, only hunger. And in that moment, he felt fear, real fear. He spoke softly, trying to calm it. Enough, it is done. The creature stared at him, chest rising and falling with heavy breaths. Then, slowly, it lowered its head. It dropped the carcass at his feet, like a gift. The man placed a trembling hand on its head. It allowed him to touch it, but his mind burned with one thought. What if one day it does not stop? The tribe soon heard of the hunt. The survivor from the young warriors group swore he had seen the beast drag animals twice its size into the dirt. The elders declared the time for waiting was over. The monster must die, they shouted at the council fire. If we do not act now, we will be the next prey. The princess sat among them, silent. Her heart wrestled with itself. She remembered the night she faced the creature, how it had stared at her but not attacked. She remembered the strange calm she felt, as if it had judged her and allowed her to live. Yet she also remembered the scream of the young warrior in the forest. She remembered the glow in its eyes. The claws tearing flesh turned her people demanded blood. But her instincts whispered something else, something dangerous, something that made her question her place in the tribe. That night, she sought the man again. She found him sharpening his blade, the beast lying nearby, its chest rising like a mountain with each breath. She stood firm. "You must end this," she said. "The council will not wait much longer. They will come for it." The man did not look up. "They will fail." "Do not be so sure," she warned. "Fear makes men strong. Fear makes them reckless." Finally, he raised his eyes to hers. "And what would you have me do? Kill it? Cast it aside like they cast me aside?" "No, princess, I will not." Her voice softened. "Then what will you do when it turns against you?" For the first time, he hesitated. The firelight flickered across his face, and in his silence, she saw the truth. Even he was not certain. The princess stepped closer, lowering her voice. "You raised a monster. But perhaps it is not only a monster. I saw something in its eyes. I do not know what, but it was not mindless hunger." The man's jaw tightened. "You saw what you wanted to see." "No," she said firmly. "I saw choice." The creature lifted its head then, eyes glowing, watching them both. For a long moment, none of them moved, the man, the princess, the beast. It was as if the forest itself held its breath. Then the creature lay back down, curling into itself, like a shadow. The princess whispered, almost to herself, "It may be the end of us, or the only thing that saves us." In the days that followed, tension grew thicker. The tribe sharpened their spears, preparing for war against the creature. The man reinforced his home, ready for a siege, and the princess found herself caught between two worlds, the fear of her people and the strange bond she felt with the beast. The forest no longer seemed safe. The tribe no longer seemed united, and deep inside the creature's glowing eyes, something stirred, something darker, something waiting to be unleashed. The monster within was awake. The choice of the princess, the council fire burned brighter than ever. Flames licked the night sky, sparks rising into the darkness like angry stars. Around the fire, the elders shouted, their voices filled with rage and fear. Warriors lined the circle, their spears sharp, their shields ready. "The monster has grown too strong," one elder cried. "It walks among us like a shadow of death," another shouted. "If we do not strike now, it will strike us." The tribe roared in agreement. Men pounded their spears on the ground. Women pulled their children close. Even those who had never seen the creature with their own eyes trembled at the stories. At the center sat the princess, her hands clenched tight on her knees. She listened to their voices, heavy as thunder, and she knew the tribe had made its decision. They would march at dawn. They would kill the beast, and they would punish the man who dared to raise it. But inside her, a war raged. She had seen the creature up close. She had felt its eyes upon her. It had spared her when it could have killed her. She remembered that moment clearly, the glow in its gaze, the silence that stretched between them. It had not looked at her as prey. It had looked at her as if it chose not to harm her. Could such a thing truly be only a monster? Or was it something more? That night, she left the village quietly. Her cloak flowed behind her as she walked the path toward the forest's edge. The guards called out, but she silenced them with a single order. No one could stop her. The moon lit her way, silver and cold. The forest was alive with whispers, the rustle of leaves, the cry of owls, the distant howl of wild beasts. But her heart beat louder than all of it. She was not walking into the forest to face a man. She was walking to face destiny. The man was waiting for her. He always seemed to know when she would come. Sat by his fire, his blade in his hand, his eyes hard and tired. Beside him lay the beast, its body coiled like a great serpent, its chest rising with deep, steady breaths. "You should not be here," he said. The same words as before. The princess lifted her chin. "And yet, here I am." The creature opened its eyes. Two glowing orbs pierced the darkness. It rose slowly, its massive frame towering above her. The firelight painted its scales in gold and shadow. Its claws dug into the ground, its breath heavy and sharp. But it did not strike. It only watched. The princess spoke, her voice steady, though her heart raced. "The tribe will come tomorrow. They will bring fire and steel. They will not stop until it is dead." The man's jaw tightened. "Then they will die trying." "They are my people," she said. "I cannot let them die, but I cannot lie to myself either. I saw what this creature is. I saw its strength, and I saw its choice." The man finally looked at her, his eyes dark with something between anger and sorrow. "Then you understand. This is no ordinary beast. This is something the tribe cannot see. They only see fear. But you saw what I saw." The princess stepped closer. The creature shifted, its eyes following her. Every step she took was a test of courage. She stopped only when she stood within reach of its claws. Slowly, carefully, she raised her hand. The man tensed, ready to stop her. But the creature did not move. It lowered its head, allowing her fingers to touch the rough scales along its snout. Its breath was hot, its body tense, but it allowed her to touch it. In that moment, the princess felt the truth. It was dangerous, it was powerful. But it was not mindless. She whispered, "It will not harm me." The man's eyes widened. For he saw what she had felt all along, the bond between them. The fire crackled. Breaking the silence, at last, the princess lowered her hand and turned to him. "You ask me to choose," she said softly, "a tribe, or this creature, my people, or what I know to be true. If I stand with them, they will kill it. If I stand with you, they will call me traitor." Her voice trembled now. "Tell me, man, of the forest, what would you have me do?" The man said nothing for a long time. His eyes stared into the flames, as if searching for an answer hidden in the smoke. Finally, he spoke. "I would have you choose not for me, not for them, but for the truth you carry inside you. Because one day, Princess, when the real enemy comes, your choice will mean the difference between life and death for everyone." His words struck her heart like steel. The real enemy. She wanted to ask him what he meant, but his eyes told her he would not say more. Not yet. She turned back. To the beast, its glowing eyes met hers. She saw no hunger there now, only patience, as if it too waited for her decision. The princess drew a long breath. "Then I will choose, not tomorrow. Not before the fire of the council. But when the time comes, I will stand where I must stand." The man gave a slow nod. The creature lowered its head again, and the princess walked back into the forest, the weight of her people and the weight of the beast both pressing upon her heart. When dawn broke, the tribe prepared for war. Warriors painted their faces with ash, spears were raised, shields polished, arrows sharpened. The elders stood tall, voices full of fire. "The monster dies today," they declared. The people cheered, but the princess remained silent. She stood in her place, her face calm, but her heart torn. She knew that when the moment came, her voice would decide more than the fate of the beast. It would decide the fate of the tribe itself, and deep in the forest, the man and the creature waited, watching, listening, ready for the storm that was about to come. The dark revealed dawn broke with fire. The tribe gathered at the gates, warriors lined shoulder to shoulder, their armor shining in the morning light. Spears lifted toward the sky, shields thudded in rhythm, and the sound of war drums shook the air. They were ready. Ready to kill the monster. Ready to destroy the man who had defied them. The elders shouted blessings of victory. Mothers prayed for their sons. Children cried but were silenced by harsh hands. And through it all, the princess stood silent. Her cloak draped over her shoulders, her face calm, but her heart torn in two. She had seen the creature. She had touched it. She had felt the strange bond. But now, her people demanded blood. She could not choose both. In the forest, the man already knew what was coming. He watched the smoke from the village rise into the sky. His hand rested on his blade, his other hand on the creature's scaled neck. "They will come for you," he whispered. The beast growled softly, as if it understood. But he knew something the tribe did not. Something he had hidden even from the princess. The beast was not just a predator. It was not just a monster. It was a weapon, and it was not meant for them. The war horns sounded. The tribe poured into the forest like a flood. Spears glinted. Arrows were drawn. Their chants echoed between the trees. Kill the beast. Burn the monster. The creature rose, towering, its eyes glowing like fire. The man stood in front of it, blade in hand, ready to defend. The warriors slowed as they entered the clearing, their courage faltering at the sight of the beast's size. But their fear only sharpened their rage. One elder stepped forward, his voice shaking with both anger and terror. "This ends today. Kill it, and kill the man who betrayed us." Spears leveled. Bows drew tight. The princess's heart pounded in her chest. She wanted to scream, to stop them. But before she could act, the sky itself answered. It began as a shadow. A dark shape moved above the clouds, blocking the morning sun. Then another, and another. Dozens of massive forms drifted silently in the sky, casting long shadows across the forest. The tribe froze. Weapons lowered, faces turned upward. The man's voice broke the silence. "They are here." The elders frowned. "What is this?" And then the sky opened. Black ships descended, their hulls glowing with alien fire. Engines roared like thunder. The ground trembled as they fell from the heavens, surrounding the forest in every direction. The princess gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. These were not beasts. These were not men. These were something else, something far worse. The man turned to the tribe, his eyes hard. Do you understand now? This is why I raised it. Not to destroy you, not to betray you, but to save you. The ships landed with a crash, shaking the earth. Doors opened, and from the shadows emerged figures tall, armored with weapons that glowed with strange light. Their voices hissed in an alien tongue, their movements sharp and merciless. The tribe stumbled back in terror. The man pointed at them. They are not here for me. They are not here for the beast. They are here for all of you. To enslave, to kill, to take this world as their own. The elders shook their heads in disbelief. Lies, one shouted. But his voice cracked, his eyes wide with fear. The aliens raised their weapons. Energy sparked at their tips.